we're going to be firstly reviewing Disney's Artemis Fowl. And this is streaming on Disney Plus. We spoke about it a couple of shows ago, how this had production hell. It was pushed back. It was supposed to come out last August. Disney pushed it back. And finally, rather than kind of waiting like they've done with Mulan, or at least kind of making people pay for it like Trolls 2, they have just dropped it on streaming services Disney Plus, which is good for us because we don't have to pay like £16, which I was grateful for. But what's to say about the movie? So let's have a little bit of the story now. So this stars Ferdia Shaw. It's his first ever movie, enough said. And he plays Artemis Fowl. And Artemis Fowl, his father, played by Colin Farrell, he is a criminal mastermind. His son is incredibly intelligent. He works at all the different puzzles and riddles. And yeah, he's just very, very clever, outsmarts everybody. And basically the story is Colin Farrell, his father, gets lost, he gets kidnapped, and basically he was going to steal this kind of item of some sort. It never really fully gets explained. And so Artemis has to team up with a society of fairies to find his missing father, to locate this item. Obviously directed by Kenneth Branagh. You've got Ferdia Shaw as the leading title, Lara McDonnell in this, Josh Gad, who you know from A Dog's Journey, I'm going to cry, and Frozen 1 and 2, of course, as Olaf. We've also got a great cast here. Judi Dench, straight from Cats, doing her thing. Love Judy. She thinks she's the cutest woman. And Colin Farrell, like I said before, so a great cast in this. What could go wrong? Quite a few things, really. So I'm going to come out and say, I don't think this film is as bad as people have been saying it is. It's aimed for a family audience, and I think you could do a lot worse just sitting your children in front of this. For me, Ferdia Shaw, I mean, I don't want to be horrible to the guy. It's his first ever film. Probably would be his last. That's what I'm going to say about that. The kids, and I say this now because I'm not trying to be mean, but I teach at a stage school, and I'm telling you, I could go to my seniors class, which are boys around 12, 13. I could close my eyes and pick one of the boys, and they would do a 10 times better job. The kid, I don't know what it was about. I don't know whether it was the direction. He has no charisma. He has no expression. He's so bland. And if he had a small role, if this was an indie film, I would not care. I'd be like, you know what, that's fine. But this is a really big Disney film. And I can think of so many better young actors. He was like fed lines at every scene. It just didn't come across as natural. And he, I don't know, kind of lazy for me. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think he really put much effort into this. And I know that's bad. I know he's young. I hope that he's able to get another film, another opportunity. But he looks cool in a suit. I got to give him that. He's a cool kid. And it makes it worse when you have someone like Lara McDonnell, who's actually really good. She plays one of the fairies. And actually, I kind of thought halfway through, maybe the film should have been about her because she's really good. She's much better than him. And she's also a young actress, but she's got that charisma. She's got the personality, and she interacts with the rest of the cast much, much better than he does. Josh Gad, oh my gosh. His narration was unbelievable. I didn't know what accent he was in halfway through the film. And you don't need it. It's so inconsistent, his narration. His character, there's no really need for him, and I don't know why he was in there. And he detracts from Artemis Fowl himself, which he should be the star of the show, not Josh Gad. I found his narration just so inconsistent and horrible. Judi Dench, I think, tries her best. I've got to say, I think thought she was one of the better actors in this. Colin Farrell is barely in the movie, and the fact that we're supposed to believe that he's the father of Artemis Fowl when they have literally 5 minutes together at the start of the movie is ridiculous. We don't believe that there's no chemistry between them. We don't believe that Artemis Fowl really cares about his father because it's not established well enough, to be honest with you. And that's the issue with me. My last point is you have in this film such really beautiful visual storytelling, especially when it came to the fairy world. I thought that was beautiful. And I was like, wow, this world is so great, definitely can see where the budget went, but it does not spend enough time developing this fairy world. It spends way too much time in this Irish home where basically the whole film takes place. And I was just like, why is it taking place all in this home when you have such a really great kind of fairy universe that needs to be developed more? And for me, I would have rather the film be about that. Unfortunately, that pretty much the whole film takes place in the house. And what that does is the film doesn't have a 3-act structure. It feels like 2 acts. The third act doesn't come because it just such an anticlimax to it all.
You're a bit more forgiving of it than I am. I think it is a mess. I think it is a royal mess of a movie, a complete and utter mess. And I think that is, you're spot on, I think largely that kind of lies on the shoulders of the casting and the casting department here. Um, First of all, as you said, I'm so glad you didn't kind of hold back on your comments on Ferdia Shaw, because you don't want to be mean, you don't want to be nasty
No.
to like a young
Well,
actor.
we're not. We're being constructive, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're not saying,
yeah.
oh, he's rubbish. We know we're saying
Well,
that.
we are.
Okay,
He is rubbish.
yeah,
He
all
is
right, he's
rubbish.
rubbish. But you know what? Like I said, this is a big budget Disney film. You know what I mean? Like, if this was a smaller film, I wouldn't care so much. He probably got a really good paycheck for this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I just think, like, moving forward, maybe he can take on his advice and kind of work on it. And I hope he does other stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, hey, he looks good in a suit. So, but I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be James Bond anytime soon. That's for sure. Basically, I watched this with my better half. She has read the books. I haven't, and everything I was saying, oh, he's awful as this actor, as Artemis Fowl, and she was basically like agreeing with. She was basically giving me an insight into the book, so that was really handy as well, because she was saying in the book Artemis is supposed to be sparky. You know, he's a criminal mastermind in the book, and he's supposed to be very intelligent and sparky, and he's got charisma, and it's just like the casting department have cast the completely wrong actor. I'm sure might be good in other stuff in the future, but they cast the completely wrong actor for this role. You're spot on with Lara McDonnell. I'd probably say she's probably the best thing about the film. She should have been in it a lot more. Josh Gad, I mean, my lord, it was like, first of all, him and Judi Dench were having a how deep can your voice go contest. Like between him and Judi Dench, they're like,
I cannot believe that's what he talks like. Artemis Fowl.
Artemis Fowl. And then you've got Judi Dench, who's like, hey there, Josh Gad. It's like they've got like they're having a competition who can do the deepest voice. Josh Gad's character is so annoying. Part of the problem with his character is that essentially his character only serves to tell the plot, where, as you know full well, Dan, great films show, they do not tell. Josh Gad is only there to tell the plot. Judi Dench, I've got to say, she is awful in this. I got to say, I thought she was dreadful. To go from Cats to something like this, she's not having a good run, I've got to say, bless her. But my favourite part of the film is when she's like on the elf ship or whatever, and the door opens and she just goes, "Top of the morning."
Yes.
Top of the morning. It's like, it's so iconic. Well done, Judy. Like, she gets a point at least for that. So I just think it's a crushing disappointment, and I'm really gutted. And in terms of fans of the book, as I said, my better half is a fan. She was really, really let down by this. So unfortunate. I don't think we're going to get a sequel.